All right, Dirt Jumper fans, here I am with another episode update. There hasn't been much that's happened other than sanding, which is why I haven't put a video out in a couple weeks, but I thought I'd at least give you an update of what all's going on so you can be in the know. Basically what's happened is some mudding. This was the fender that was the worst because it was the one that was hit, and I did my best to straighten it out and try to get as best I could. But we've done some mudding, a lot of sanding. Really, probably at this point, that's 2 or 3 days of sanding on that fender. Still gonna need a little bit more. The rocker panels, those little kick panels. I got this front cowl done, and basically I have turned it back into a 1977 tub by deleting the vent up here and filling in these holes in the back and putting the new holes for the spare tire carrier. So did a little bit of sanding and mudding back here in the bed. As you can see, still got some more sanding and stuff to do here as well. But this quarter panel here is done for the most part. So I went ahead and sealed it with some epoxy primer. I will probably put some high build primer on it next and block it out just to make sure I get it as straight as possible. But it looks pretty good. Still got to do this rocker, and same thing here. So as far as high build primer and blocking, what I'll do is when I finish all of the mud and all that, I'm gonna do the high build primer pretty much everywhere. And then in the tub in here at some point, this tub was left outside and there's little pits. You can see that's where I filled in a hole, but there's little bitty pits. There's a good shot. So the high build primer and blocking some of that stuff will clean up a little bit. I'm not gonna do a ton in here because I'm gonna cover this with a sound deadener. But I am gonna block definitely these quarter panels, rocker panels, kick panel, all the outside here. I'm gonna block it with that high build primer to get it good and straight, at least as straight as possible. So that's what I've been doing. Justin, what are we doing?
Sanding the body filler.
It's a block party, right?
Yeah.
Like Short Dog on Iron Resurrection says, we're having a block party. Trying to block this thing out. As far as the filler right now, we will prime it and then block it again. All right, I've gotten a few questions to my email address about what I'm using and how I'm doing it, so I thought I'd give a little bit of information on that. I bought this epoxy speed coat primer with the catalyst, and I've been spraying it through this Harbor Freight gun. I bought this Harbor Freight gun with a coupon for $9.99. I've got a cheap little $5 filter on it that I put on it. I also bought a pretty inexpensive little regulator here with a filter on it as well. And this was like, I think maybe 15 bucks, a Harbor Freight. I've just got a 150 PSI Craftsman compressor, nothing super fancy. And to be honest, I've gotten really good results out of this gun. I've been running it with about 40 psi. I think the directions said 30 to 35, but I found, I don't know, maybe this gauge is not completely accurate, but I found it to work best at about 40 psi. Something I have not done that I would like to do is I'd like to get some reducer, because it does come out kind of thick. The tip on this, I can't remember what it is. The tip on this, let's see if it says. It doesn't say up here, but I'll put it in the description down below. But the tip on this does just fine even without a reducer. But I need to do some research and see if I could use a reducer with this epoxy, because it would lay down a little thinner and smoother. It has a little texture to it when it comes out. Let's see if I can capture that. You can kind of see the texture that it has when it comes out, which is not bad. I'm going to sand it anyways, but I have not sprayed any base coat or clear through this gun. There's a lot of reviews on YouTube with this gun that guys have done it. And there's guys that hate this gun and say it's a piece of junk. There's guys that swear by it. This is the first time I've ever done any kind of professional or pseudo-professional type spraying, and I have not had any problems. It's easy to clean, and what I'm going to do, since these guns are so cheap, I'm going to buy one for my base coat and buy another one for my clear coat. I still got to clean it up a little bit more since I finished, but the good thing about these being cheap and doing that is I don't have to get this thing super spotless clean. I get the inside really clean. I'm not really that much worried about the outside. This is going to be my primer gun. I may even buy another one for my high build primer and have 4 of them. I mean, for $10 a piece, shoot, I could have 6 or 8 of these guns. But like I said, I'm going to use this one for my epoxy primer. I'll probably get another one for my high build primer. I'll get one for my base coat and one for my clear coat, and I'll have $40 in 4 spray guns. These are about $5, these little filters. So you're looking at, for that setup right there, about 15 bucks, which is not bad. Like I said, I've been pretty satisfied with it. The next steps here is I'm going to keep working this. I got to finish up this back panel back here. I got to finish up this quarter panel, and I got to finish up the 2 rocker panels. Then I'm going to take it back off the body. I think what I'm going to do is make a spray booth out of my garage. As you can see, I've got 2 windows here, one right there and one right there. I'm going to put some HVAC filters in that window. I'll put a box fan exhausting out of that window, so I'll suck clean air through this window and blow it out of there. I'll close the garage door. I'll clean the garage really good, and you can't really see it because I got cars in there, but I'll clean the garage really good and put some plastic down maybe, and then I'm gonna take this tub off of the frame, lay it on its butt, and I'm gonna clean the bottom really well, not do a ton underneath of any kind of blocking or sand it, but just clean it up really good, rough it up, prime it, and paint it. Then once I get the bottom painted really good, I'll clear coat it. Then I'll paint the top side here, flip it up on its side. Flip it up on it like this, put it on some sawhorses. I'll paint this really well, clear coat it. And then depending on how well it turns out, I don't know if I'm gonna buff and cut it. I'm not trying to make a show car out of this thing. I'm just trying to get a good quality paint job. And if there's a lot of orange peel or a lot of trash in the clear coat, then I might buff it and cut it, especially maybe the quarters. And then I'll put this thing together, get it running. Then, I know some people say don't do this, but then after I get this thing kind of running, then I'm gonna paint the, I'm gonna buy new fenders, paint the hood, paint the window sill, and on a second spray day. But the goal is to get this thing running and driving, and I can do that without fenders and a hood on it. I want to get this thing going as soon as possible. All right, thanks for watching.